Be More here. I'm talking to author A.D. Wright, the novelist who was responsible for the book I Live, a novel without heroes. Hello, sir.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good night.
Tell me about the book.
It's a urban fiction tale, but it's urban fiction for smart people. It's not the typical, just drug, sex, and violence, even though it has some sex and violence in the book. Mm-hmm. It has a point to it. It has some plot lines, some twists and turns. I don't want to give away too much about the book because, it's suspenseful, but I think that most people will enjoy it.
All right. Give me 3 movies that kind of triangulate it. If I like 3 movies, what triangulates the characters or the setting of this book?
Okay, if you like Juice, Pulp Fiction, and Fight Club, you'll like this book.
That's hot. I actually like 2 of 3 of those movies, so pretty cool.
Which one didn't you like?
Juice is a period piece. It has meaning for me in a certain time in my life, but I really haven't watched it again since like 90-something when it came out.
It's a classic, man.
But Fight Club lives here. It lives and breathes here in my house, along with other movies like Predator, Snatch, Lock, Stock.
Yeah, exactly. Guy Ritchie films.
Yeah. Most of them. Not the Sherlock Holmes joints as much, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm very inspired by Guy Ritchie, so I try to make the detail of the scenes in my book similar to the detail he uses in his movies.
Oh, he was one of your influences then?
Oh, definitely. Whenever I watch a movie, I always watch the director's cut, like director's commentary. Mm-hmm. And the level of detail and the meaning behind the detail is very important to him, and it's very important to me as well.
Okay, cool. So when is the book set?
I did not put in a time period per se. There's very little technology in the book because technology changes so much and times change so much. I try to make it as timeless and classic as possible. Most likely, though, since it's a culmination of all the things in my life, it's probably late 90s, early 2000s, mentally. But I think that anyone who reads it, 10 years from now, will still be able to relate to it as if it was today.
So I guess one of the keys to that would be the protagonist is out in the street and he has to reach somebody who's not there. Does he, A, get out a quarter and go to a payphone? Right. Or does he, B, reach down, grab his Sky pager? Or C, does he grab a cell phone? And that's probably the telling piece.
So this is what I did, right? Okay, that's a good point. He's not technologically savvy. He's fresh out of prison, for a questionable arrest. And he's just not good with electronics. So some people in the book have electronics, but he doesn't really know what they are because he doesn't use them. So, he gets made fun of in the book for not being good with technology.
Okay. So who is Marcus?
He is an intelligent person who lives in a low-income, impoverished neighborhood who, was arrested questionably and is going to start a mini revolution. That's all I can tell you.
That's all you can tell me? That's
all I can tell you. It's a suspenseful book, with twists and turns. Okay. I can't reveal too much about his character because, it comes out in the story.
So is it a redeemable character? Is it somebody that, oftentimes when I'm watching a movie or reading a book, I want to obviously, identify with the protagonist in most cases, or sometimes the antagonist. You know me. I'm a big Vader fan, Lex Luthor fan. I'm with that, But, so am I able to, are there some redeemable characters of this traits of this character that will allow us to identify with him and what his, he has some human commonality that we're all going to kind of tie into?
The human commonality is that his character is complex. Sometimes it's not about right and wrong. Some things just are. And he just is. He's more of a, if you want me to put it into as an example, he's more of the Hulk. He's not good, he's not bad, but he's a force to be reckoned with. He's a force to be reckoned with. So, sometimes it's not about right and wrong or good and bad. It's about, people who do things for the right reasons, even though they might be bad things.
Okay. How about female characters?
There is a main love interest in the book, as well as some supporting female characters. I don't want to give away too much either. She is a college student. She's smart. It's like the yin and yang. He's like smart, rough around the edges. Mm-hmm. She's smart and well polished.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to ask you too much about the characters. Let it breathe. I know we had an early discussion about the book when you were going through one of your rough drafts,
Mm-hmm.
and when we initially talked about it, the movie that came to my mind. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big movie guy, as you know, but the movie that came to my mind, especially with the subtitle, um, it's a novel without heroes.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes,
is
sir.
Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, just that entire movie, the redemption of Clint Eastwood, who has been this gunslinger through all of his movies,
Mm-hmm.
again, a force of nature. Um, and in that movie, you have the collision of him, the villains, uh, uh, Gene Hackman's character, who every one of them in their mind was right. Like there
Mm-hmm.
was no hero or villain. It was just these three forces of nature coming together. Like something happened. This is how that character responds, and it was just amazing. It's an amazing train. It's like watching a train wreck in slow mo. Like you're not going to turn away, and so much stuff is going to happen. And I remember we talked about you hadn't seen the movie at the time. Had you taken the time to watch that movie yet?
I did, and you're right. I guess this is not an original idea in itself. It's just I try to do it in an original way.
Mm-hmm.
What it is I think we feel good and comfortable thinking about things in terms of black and white, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And movies like Unforgiven give you the perspective of you know everyone might think they're right, and it's perception that makes it right or wrong to you.
Right.
So yeah, this one would be like if a terrorist attacked the train
Mm-hmm.
and you saw the viewpoint of the terrorist, the conductor, and the passengers, and you didn't know who to root for or who to be against.
Right. Well, in that case, it seems simple. You obviously root against the terrorist.
Well, it depends because there's a thin line between terrorist and freedom fighter. History proves tells us that.
Yeah, you might have just lost some book sales on that one, but no, it's good. Hey, so the cool thing was you hadn't seen Unforgiven at the time when we talked about it, and you'd already written the book, so you
Yeah.
obviously didn't copy anything. It's your own story, and it just has maybe even similar tenets to it. But I think it's pretty cool. You chose um, just an urban setting for the cover. What were your different options, and why did you choose that? I know you were early off in the process. You were trying to come up with a cover design and looking for something that would, kind of indicate something about the book and also stand out. Why did you choose what you chose?
Okay, so I'm not sure if the audience is very familiar with urban fiction novels, but a lot of them look like club flyers. Like you expect to see birthday bash on the top or something. I wanted it to be classic. I didn't want it to be like a Master P album and everyone looks the same. Then 10 years later you look at it like this was really stupid.
Right.
So I wanted to say, what's a classic look? What is compelling? What stands out and looks good? So I chose like a clean design. I chose I don't want to say which city it is. I chose a city skyline that looks like a lot of other city skylines.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like how Gotham City could be New York, it could be Chicago, it could be anywhere.
Right.
I chose that type of theme. I made it very dark and very, it gives you like a creepy, the city's on fire feeling. And that's what I wanted to express with the book cover.
Okay. Cool. What kind of feedback have you gotten from the book so far?
So far, so good. It's only been out for a week. One of the people who reviewed my book on Amazon mentioned how it was like reading a movie. It was like there was a movie going on in her head as she was reading my book,
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly my intentions. I felt really good about it.
Okay, cool. And where can we find the book online? Amazon, where else?
Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. It's available on Kindle and Nook.
Okay, cool. A.D. Wright, everyone. Clap for him.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, man.